Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Book Chats here at Lonsdale Public Library. I'm Penny, and this week we have experienced rain, humidity, sun. I even slapped a few mosquitoes the other day. All of those things are telling me that summer is definitely on its way. I'm still hoping for a few more spring days before we get into full-blown summer. But I can't help thinking about all of the great summer books there are out there. And so today I'm going to talk about different juvenile and young adult summer books, but remember, those designations are just for suggesting that kids can read them. They are still wonderful to read as an adult. The first one, in fact, I'm going to talk about, I read when I was younger. I just recently reread it. It's called Runaway Ralph by Beverly Cleary. And unfortunately, Beverly Cleary passed away earlier this year, but you may remember some of her books such as Ramona. Other characters she had were Beezus, and obviously Ralph. Ralph S. Mouse, the mouse and the motorcycle. This book deals with Ralph feeling a little bit constricted. His mother is very timid. He has a lot of rambunctious cousins that won't leave him alone. So he decides that he is going to take his motorcycle and drive to summer camp. But summer camp isn't exactly all peanut butter sandwiches and fun, which is what he thinks it is. Instead, there's a strict watchdog, a mouse-hungry cat, and a troubled boy named Garf. And together, Garf and Ralph get to go on some hair-raising adventures. They don't always get along, but in the end, they do get along, and Ralph has to find a way home. Garf happens to be the key. So it's a good thing that they get along. It's a really, really sweet story, and I highly recommend reading that one. The next one, To Night Owl from Dogfish. This is a newer book that we have purchased. It's a modern take on an epistolary novel, meaning it's set through not just letters, but also emails and voicemail interpretation. So it's about two girls, Avery Bloom and Bette Devlin, complete opposite. One is a nerd, she's very cautious. The other is very much a go-getter, could care less, just very outgoing. Introvert, extrovert, very different girls. And they're both being raised by single dads. But when the single dads fall for each other, they send both their daughters to the same summer camp. And they're hoping that the girls will become friends. It's quite a struggle because they are very different. Things get out of hand. There is some unexpected adventures that nobody could have predicted. And it shows the value of friendship as well as a wonderful relationship between what they hope are going to be stepsisters in the end. The next book I'll talk about is All Summer Long. This is one of our graphic novels. And this is about a great friendship between a teen girl and a teen guy. The girl, Bina, has a long summer ahead of her, but her best friend, Austin, goes off to summer camp for a month, to soccer camp. He's not answering her texts. She's very bored. She ends up finding a good friend in Austin's older sister, Charlie. They like the same music. They start hanging out. Then Austin comes back, only he's acting even weirder than when he left. So it really is a growing up story. The friendship, is it going to be changed? Is it going to, are they going to become distanced? It really is a wonderful story about everything that can happen in 3 months to a friendship and whether or not a friendship between a teenage girl and a teenage boy can last. Because some people believe it can and some say that it can't. I think this is a great story that represents how it can. Another book called All Summer Long, One Crazy Summer. In the summer of 1968, after traveling from Brooklyn to Oakland, California to spend a month with the mother they barely know, 11-year-old Delphine and her two younger sisters arrive to a cold welcome as they discover that their mother, a poet and printer, is resentful of the intrusion of their visit and wants them to attend a nearby Black Panther summer camp. Now, as you notice on this cover, there's a lot of stickers. This is a Scott Odell Award winner for historical fiction. It is a Newbery Honor book. It is a Coretta Scott King Award winner and a National Book Award finalist. Those are some pretty heavy-hitting awards. And for it to have won all four, it is a very realistic historical fiction novel. It expresses a lot about how times were different. I think that it's still relatable today, though. And so I would highly recommend that you pick this up. And you'll learn, obviously, a lot about history. Like I said, it's very realistic historical fiction. And so what you're reading is very accurate. It's not a magical book by any means. It's a very accurate portrayal. So again, this would be a great one to pick up for a summer read. A Horse of Her Own. I picked this one up. I think I might even pass this one along to my daughter. She's a little bit horse crazy. It's by Annie Wedeking. And it is about a young girl who rides at a stable. She rides the same horse, Bo, and she's even going out for the advanced riding class this summer. Except over the summer, Bo gets sold. And so she has to deal with her favorite horse being sold, the other rich girls who are boarding their own horses at this stable. She doesn't have a horse. Even when she rode Bo, it was a stable horse that she would borrow to ride. And so the summer looks very bleak until she's asked by the stable owner to help with the training of an out-of-control thoroughbred, Lancelot. And so then Jane is then able to work with this horse, find the skills and the confidence that she needs. And maybe by the end of the book, it says that horse ownership isn't completely out of the question. As I said, I have a very horse crazy girl. I think I'm definitely going to be recommending this one to her. And my last recommendation comes from the young adult section. It's a graphic novel called Lumberjanes. We have many of this series, and the story follows a group of girls named Mal, Ripley, Molly, April, and Joe. They spend their summer at a scout camp, and this one does have some magical elements. For example, the first book, which is this one, is called Beware the Kitten Holy. Friendship to the max. At Miss Quinzella Thisquin Pennyqueaquill Thistle Crumpet's camp for hardcore lady types. Things are not what they seem. Three-eyed foxes, secret caves, anagrams. Luckily, Joe, April, Mal, Molly, and Ripley are 5 rad, butt-kicking best pals, determined to have an awesome summer together. And they're not going to let a magical quest or an array of supernatural creatures get in their way. The mystery keeps getting bigger, and it all begins here. And as I said, it's a graphic novel. Unlike some that are done in two-tone, this one is very brightly colored. And I forgot to mention that the authors are Noelle Stevenson and Grace Ellis, illustrated by Brooklyn Allen. So again, this is a great book about summer. As I said, there's a whole series, so enjoy. And we will have one more week where you will see Marguerite doing the next book chat, and then we start our summer reading program. Have a great week.